Ladies, we're back. 3 true OF horror stories by IMR Scary Tales. Hope y'all doing good. Hope y'all doing aight. We're gonna get into it. Yeah, let's get started.
I moved into this crappy little apartment complex a few months ago. It was this rundown 1970s looking place on the edge of the city.
Heck.
No elevator, weird smells in the hallway, but whatever. It was quiet, and that's all I wanted.
Heck, this had to been cheap. Like the rent had to been like $800, bro. Even $800, that's expensive for this old, decrepit, nasty, dirty, disgusting looking apartment. Gotta be.
The only unwanted part was my upstairs neighbor, Samantha. She was an older woman, probably.
Okay, so like, okay. I get being down bad. Trust me, I get being down bad. But it really do come to a point. Like, there's literally, at first, her backside did look kind of good, though. I'll give her that. But, like, bro, to zoom in and seeing her like this is crazy. Bro, her titties is freaking sagging to her belly button, bro. That joint about to touch her knees, bro, on bro. Who's finna pay for this, man? Who finna pay for this? This is crazy. No makeup in the world can save her. It's past her prime. It's over. Like,
in her late 50s or 60s, but she kept to herself. She never made eye contact, even when we crossed.
Like, she don't got no pension. She don't have no type of, like, saving, no 401k. Like, this is disgusting. Like, I feel like this guy right here, I'm looking at her with disgust. This is nasty.
Paths on the stairs. She would barely leave her apartment, and when she did, she always bundled up like she didn't want to be recognized. I thought she was just a basket case. Some nights I'd hear her pacing around for hours. She would often be heard whispering to herself, practicing lines over and over.
You know you want me. I've been so bad. You know you want me. I've been so bad. I know you want me. I've been so bad.
You can say that until you get into the ground. Don't nobody believe that. I don't believe that. 90% of us watching don't believe that, bro. Nobody wants you. Nobody wants you bad. I'm better off getting a femboy twink. Honestly, I'm better off getting a passable trans woman. Like, come on, yo. Disrespectfully. Like, this is crazy.
It wasn't sounding attractive. Trust me. It was just sad. Like she was trying to convince herself. Then, one day, I heard our landlord talking to another tenant about her, saying she's too old to do OnlyFans. It took me a minute to connect the dots.
Oh, bro.
Anyway, fast forward to last month. It was a Thursday night at around 11 p.m. I'd just gotten home from a late shift and was eating cold pizza on my couch when I heard something upstairs that didn't sound like acting. It felt like a scream that was stopped in the middle. The silence was killing me because I expected to hear more like I usually did, but nothing. Before I could ponder on it, I heard a heavy thud right above me.
Dang.
I waited, thinking maybe she dropped something, but my gut feeling kept telling me something.
Nah, that body dropped to the floor. Now, notice how she only doing solo stuff. Nobody trying to hit that, bro. Nobody trying to hit that. I could be on a dry spell for decades. She the last person on the planet. I'd rather put my little penis in a dirt in the ground. A hole in a tree.
It wasn't right. I grabbed my phone and quietly went up to her floor. The hallway was dark and empty, but Samantha's apartment door was open, not wide. Just enough that I could see her bare feet on the floor inside, and they were lying still. I pushed the door open slowly and walked in. Samantha was lying on the floor in this red satin robe. Her mouth opened in a scream with her eyes wide open. There was a weird bruise on her throat, dark and fresh. I couldn't believe she was dead. It took me a minute to start dialing 911 on my keypad, and as I was doing so, I heard her toilet flush. My heart stopped. Someone.
That's so crazy. Bro just killed an old woman, and now he taking a dump. That's crazy.
Was still in there. I swiftly ducked behind this crusty old couch just inside the apartment. It reeked like cheap perfume and cigarette ash, but I didn't care.
Sound about right.
I dropped to the floor and held my breath. I heard the bathroom door open, followed by heavy footsteps coming out, and then the door closing softly. Whoever was in there didn't want to make much noise, but at the same time, that person had no idea of the existence of a third person. I peeked in carefully to find this pale, bald man wearing a wrinkled trench coat. He began humming Elvis Presley very creepily. Wise men say...
What?
Can't help.
Out of all the, you chose a colonizer to be seen?
He slowly crouched beside her body and ran his hand down her face like she was still alive. You lied to me. Said you were 20. Acting like you were special. I then saw him pulling out this small blade from his coat pocket. It wasn't a kitchen knife, but rather a scalpel. The entire encounter was turning into a horror movie that I was watching live. What happened next will never let me sleep peacefully for the rest of my life. He started cutting into her arm. At first, he made clean, shallow cuts as if he were carving something. The sound of flesh getting sliced made me nauseous, but I still kept my calm. You thought you could make me want you again? Look at you. Skin sagging, makeup hiding everything.
Yeah.
He chuckled under his breath, then said,
He had to kill her though.
I loved you when you were real, not when you became this joke. And stabbed the scalpel in her eye. I watched him pull out her eyeball like it was nothing. I just wanted to vomit. I had my phone out, recording from behind the couch with one hand, and the other was clamped over my mouth. He kept slicing and mutilating her body while talking to her like she was still alive. You begged me to come back, remember? You said you'd do anything, and now, look, just lying there, like all the others. I was shaking so hard my phone nearly slipped out of my hand. He finally stood up and walked toward the kitchen, still humming that awful tune. I took the chance. I crawled backward like my life depended on it. I managed to slip through the door gently and I pulled it shut. Then I bolted down the stairs and called 911. I told them everything. I was choking, crying, swearing, and trying.
That's crazy. Killed her, using her bathroom, using her kitchen, cooking up some oodles and noodles. The creamy chicken flavor, pretty good. But like, tell me some. Miss her when she was the real one. She lied and said she was 20. She was age fishing.
Not to puke. The cops showed up in less than 5 minutes. They arrived with their guns drawn and their flashlights blazing. They went up and pulled him out screaming. He was covered in blood and was laughing maniacally.
Nut.
I gave them the footage. They didn't even blink, just thanked me and took it like they'd seen this sort of thing before. I later found out the guy was Samantha's avid follower from her OnlyFans. Samantha had blocked him months ago after he started sending disturbing messages. The man had a criminal record that included assault, breaking and entering, and several minor stalking charges that were not taken seriously by authorities. He'd been hiding in her apartment since earlier that day, just waiting to punish her for not being his perfect fantasy anymore. I haven't slept much since that night. I moved out the next week. Sometimes I still hear his voice in my head singing Elvis Presley while cutting up a dead body. I wonder how many other women he treated that way before Samantha.
He had to do the odds like that, though.
But most of all, I wondered what would have happened if I'd gone upstairs 5 minutes earlier.
You would have ran in. You would have probably could have saved her, honestly. But yeah, that's like, that's kind of the police fault. All of those freaking priors, and they didn't even really take it like they was serious as they were supposed to. Bro could have been behind bars. The old woman could have been saved. She still could have been making some weak stories and videos on her OnlyFans. That's sad. That's sad. There's a lot of people that would do something like that. Me personally, I wouldn't do nothing like that. That's nuts. And then using her kitchen and bathroom, like trying to make it his house now. That's not your house.
So this happened about 7 months ago, and I'm only talking about it now because I'm still trying to wrap my head around what really went down. I just started an OnlyFans. Nothing crazy, just lingerie and suggestive stuff. It was fun.
Oh, man, take the blur off. I'm trying to see that, man. Don't piss me off. Release them titties. Burn the witch. I have a spell to summon big booty Latinas. Release the witch. Sorry.
I was getting attention, compliments, and yeah, the money was nice. I was in a long-term relationship with this guy named Reed. We'd been dating for almost 2 years. From the second I told him I started the page, he was unhappy about it. He'd be like, "This isn't you. You don't need validation from randoms." He even gave me warnings like everything bad was going to happen because of me using OnlyFans. One day some creep is going to show up at our door. He kept calling it a mistake, but I brushed it off. I wasn't posting my address or anything. Plus, it's 2025. Girls are allowed to feel themselves online, right?
But that's not crazy to say, though. Like, just like we seen with the first one, they could find a way to pull up, bro. They could find some way. Would y'all be cool with your queen doing OnlyFans? Nothing crazy. Like, she do content and collab with other OnlyFans creators. You know, nothing super crazy. Not super crazy.
Anyway, one night we were driving back from my friend's birthday party, and we stopped at this old stranded gas station off the highway. It was past midnight. I stayed in the car while Reed went inside to grab an energy drink and some smokes. I was on my phone, scrolling through DMs. A lot of it was trash, but I had a few loyal subs who were sweet. I was totally engrossed in it, so I didn't notice someone was watching me. When I looked up, I nearly screamed. A man was standing right outside my window, only inches away. He was filthy. He wore these mud-caked pants, had a dreadlock beard, and cracked lips. He looked completely gone mentally. I instinctively locked the doors. He started tapping on the window. Tap, tap, tap. I yelled. But he just smiled.
No, bro. You got to get back, man. You're dirty, bro. You stink. The door closed. I can smell you. You didn't even listen to Tyler's album. Don't tap the glass, bro. Why are you tapping the glass? Stop playing with me, bro. Haha. Double Tyler reference. But, bro, come on.
And then he took out his phone and showed me my OnlyFans page. A feeling of dread rushed down my spine. My eyes kept searching for Reed.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. You the girl that be making OnlyFans. This you? I just want to flex my Pokemon card. This you? Doing OnlyFans? Yo, shout out to my Glisopod. I just want to flex that real quick. But yeah, that's kind of weird though. That's kind of weird. Like, you couldn't keep that like to yourself. Not that she's not no celebrity. She just taking her clothes off online for money. Freak you gotta do that for?
Begging him to be back as soon as possible. The crazy guy started rambling. It's really you, the angel from the screen. Can I touch your hair? Please, just one touch.
Oh my God.
I screamed and honked the horn. The man brushed his dirty hands on the window like he was imagining how it would be to touch me. I knew you'd be prettier in person. I was on the verge of crying when Reed sprinted out of the store, and I swear I've never seen him move that fast. He tackled the guy in the middle of the parking lot and punched him.
There we go.
I watched him knock 3 teeth out of that guy. We got in the car and sped off. I told him everything while sobbing like a 9-year-old. Reed was breathing heavily, knuckles bleeding. See? I told you this would happen.
Yeah, time to take that OnlyFans
night, I
down.
deleted my OnlyFans. I didn't even hesitate. I felt exposed and extremely violated,
Good girl.
like I had been shoved into a trash can. I began questioning my self-worth. It was the worst night ever. For weeks, I kept thinking back to that man's eyes, how he looked like he truly knew me, how he begged for a touch like he thought I was real-life property. I couldn't sleep. I jumped every
wonder how
time
much she was
someone
making.
walked by the apartment. Reed took care of me, but kept reminding me every day how he saved me. He'd constantly say, "Imagine if I hadn't come out. What would have happened? Now you understand why I didn't want you doing that stuff." And honestly, I felt grateful. Like, yeah, he was right. Maybe I had invited danger. A month or so later, Reed was at work, and I was cleaning out our junk drawer looking for a...
Okay, I was about to say, like, if that was just it, like a random weirdo came up to the car and was just tapping the glass, no Tyler. And if I was a woman doing OnlyFans, I was making a lot of money, I wouldn't close my OnlyFans off that. But
spare charger cable. I was bored, organizing old receipts and junk mail. Suddenly, I found an old beat-up prepaid flip phone. It was hidden under expired coupons and a dead flashlight. I don't know why I opened it. I figured it was from forever ago. But when I turned it on, it still had charge.
Motorola.
And there were messages. Not many, just like 5, all from the same number. No name, just texts. One caught my eye right away. It said, "Are you sure this is just to scare her? I don't want any cops on my ass." My heart dropped. Another one said, "Cash App didn't go through. Need 50 more for bus fare." I kept scrolling, hand legit shaking, and then I saw the message that made me feel sick. Wait until she's alone. Show her the OnlyFans page. Just scare her a little. Make it real. I need her to quit. My mouth went dry. It was dated 2 days before.
I don't think this is super crazy. I don't think this is super crazy. The scare off only. But my thing is this though, like, right? My thing is this. If you was with her, like before you was with her, she was doing OnlyFans. You really can't be mad at her for doing OnlyFans if you already went into a relationship knowing she was doing OF. Like that's your thing. You gotta hold that. And if you really feel that insecure about her doing OnlyFans, just leave. Like if it really bothers you that bad, to where, all right, boom, I don't want my you looking at it like, yo, I don't want my girl being a whore online. Just leave. I don't think that's hard. Unless she the one making all the money you broke, then that's, it's a little, it's different. But bro, yeah.
Before the gas station incident, I sat there in total silence, staring at that line. Make it real. That psycho in the parking lot, he wasn't some obsessed subscriber. He was sent. My boyfriend Reed hired him. I went cold all over. I couldn't breathe. I kept asking myself, why? Why would someone do that to the person they love? And the worst part?
Bruh.
Reed played the hero. He staged the entire situation to scare me into deleting my account. And then he rescued me from the very scenario he created. He staged the whole thing so that he could say later, "I told you so." I packed my stuff the next morning and left while he was at work. I didn't confront him. I didn't even give him closure.
Is that worth breaking up over? I can understand it. I feel like it's more in the boyfriend, because like I said, if you really feel that much of a way of her doing OnlyFans, like I said, you could just leave. But even if it was real, I don't think that's really worth deleting your OnlyFans. Like, you gonna run into some weirdos, especially when you're doing stuff like OnlyFans. Like, you gonna run into it. So like, say she making $30K. I wouldn't, if I was her, I was making $30K, I would not delete my OnlyFans because I had one weird person run up on me. I'm making $30K, I'll be all right.
Went full ghost mode. I changed numbers and blocked him on everything. I still think about what would have happened if that man had gone too far. If Reed hadn't saved me in time. If his plan had spiraled.
I think she
haven't
overreacted.
Posted anything online since. Not even on IG. And I've been in therapy trying to untangle all this twisted crap thrown my way. But here's the thing that keeps me up at night. That man at the gas station, he knew my name, but he also said something I can't forget. He said I'd be prettier in person. I wonder if he said that to himself or Reed told him to say that. It terrifies me to think that the real stalker wasn't the man at the window. It was the one sleeping in my bed.
Nah, I don't think, I think she overthinking it. Like, is she right for wanting to break up with him? Yeah, I can say. But as far as like, thinking like it's going to escalate and get to something else, nah, I don't think so. But yeah, like you knew what you was getting into when you got in a relationship with her, bro. And if that bothered you so much, like I said, you could have dipped. he was probably thinking, okay, boom, now we could work it out. Like, I can see through it. I can see the vision. Nah. And then eventually he got more and more insecure. Yeah, bro, just that. But her, I feel like she was kind of dragging it, though. She was kind of dragging it. Because it's like, from what it looked like, I don't think he was going to do anything extra. Honestly. And then you doing that field of work. So you're going to run into, like, super creepy weirdos. Not saying they should. But that's for sure going to happen, though. Especially if you at, like, a certain size. Like,
we used to be that duo, Marnie and Juliet, ride or die. We used to have sleepovers every weekend, matched friendship bracelets, and shared inside jokes like no one else understood. But like most high school friendships, it crashed hard. And if I'm being real, yeah, I was the one who lit the match. It was junior year. There was this guy, Tyler. Tall, soccer team captain, perfect abs, and the literal reason why I used to fake walk by the football field every day.
Appreciate that.
I never told Juliet how I felt about him. I was saving it, waiting for the right moment, But one Friday night, everything changed. Juliet got drunk at Jamie's basement party, like messy drunk. And next thing I know, someone's yelling,
"Juliet just kissed Tyler!"
Right in the middle of Truth or Dare, in front of everyone. I swear it felt like a knife on my back. I mean, even though I never told her,
that was your man, sis. Go get your man. You letting your girl kiss your man? Me personally, I don't know if I could go for that. But I mean, she was sloppy drunk. Do that count? Like, if you sloppy drunk and you're not all the way there, is that necessarily like backstabbing? I don't know.
She knew I had a crush on him. Later, she tried to justify her actions by saying
It didn't mean anything.
that she barely...
Oh, she knows what she was doing. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Burn the witch. Yeah. Okay.
remembered it, but all I saw was betrayal. The worst part, she looked happy, like she won something.
I mean, but she didn't tell her friend that she liked the guy. So, like, how would she know? And plus, that's not her man. I get feeling hurt that your best friend is kissing your crush, but that's not your man, one. Two, it'll be different if you told her, like, you like him, then, that's breaking girl code. But nah, she ain't know. Until, I'm assuming, after she told her the next day. Yeah.
I just stood there, quiet, pretending I was fine. But inside, I was already planning her karma. I don't know when I became that girl. I wasn't always so bitter.
Wait, so how did this go from her best friend kissing her crush to her doing OnlyFans? What?
But something snapped. A week later, I started messing with some AI image generators, just testing stuff. It didn't take long before I realized I could make fake photos, really realistic ones. I uploaded random selfies from Juliet's old Insta, ones she didn't even remember existed,
this is
and
crazy.
then used this deepfake plugin to morph them into poses she never took, scenarios she'd never be in.
This is
but
crazy.
It looked like her with all the details. Then I
don't think, like, that's not even your man. Yeah, this is OD. And you making the OnlyFans, trying to make an OnlyFans account offer your friend's deepfake? Yeah, that's weird. I ain't gonna lie, that's weird.
made a fake OnlyFans profile, used a burner email. Her bio said, "I'll do anything for money." I shared the link in our school group chat.
That's weird.
No name, no caption. There was only a link and a fire emoji. By lunch the next day, everyone had seen it. The boys were the worst, whistling when she walked by, waving bills in her face, whispering stuff like, "How much do you think for a halfway special?" Juliet looked like she wanted to vomit. She didn't even confront me. She just disappeared. By the last period, she was gone. Didn't answer her phone. She never made it home. Didn't post. Just gone.
Yeah, that's freaking insane. Like, you sent your friend up like that to get embarrassed. Everybody picking her. Mess around be another Amanda Todd situation, for those that know. She might mess around and Amanda Todd herself, and it's all your fault. That's tough. For a crush? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Making up a fake OnlyFans page. That's wrong.
Out of sight. I told myself she deserved it, that it was justice for what she did to me. But deep down, even then, I felt this weird crawling guilt, like I'd taken things too far.
Yes,
That night, I was in my room, scrolling through DMs from people hyping up my mystery drop. It was sick. However, I felt too invested to stop.
What?
All of a sudden, I heard something. I heard a soft creak just outside my door. I looked up, confused. My bedroom door was half open, but I always close it. I was trying to listen over the rain tapping my windows. Just then, I saw
She
her,
coming in?
Juliet, standing in the doorway. She was drenched to the skin. Her hair was dripping and her eyes were glowing in the dark.
Pissed
She
off.
looked nothing like the girl I saw last time. As I eyed her down, I clutched my bedsheet in fear. There was a kitchen knife in her right hand. I thought I was dreaming. I nervously laughed.
Hey,
Hey.
what are you doing here?
She didn't say anything. She stepped into the room, water squishing into her.
Yeah, this low-key a justifiable crash out. This low-key justified. Low-key. Like, you set your friend up and embarrassing her for the whole school. They cat calling her. Now they think she a hoe. You know what I'm saying? You done messed up her social life. I ain't gonna say killing her, but like I understand the energy. I understand it.
Jeans. Her lips were trembling, but her grip on the knife was solid. She scratched her
What?
head with
Wait,
the
wait,
knife. I could see blood and skin on the tip of the knife as she scratched too hard.
You thought that was funny, huh?
Why she?
Look, I didn't know.
You knew very well.
I didn't even have time to react. She lunged at me and we hit the floor hard. She began swinging the knife down with a face full of violence and disdain.
Why she scratch
I
her
caught
forehead?
her wrist just in time, but the blade nicked my shoulder. Screams and blood soaked through my hoodie in seconds. She was crying, like ugly crying, but still fighting like she wanted me dead. We rolled over, hit the dresser, and knocked over my lamp. I screamed louder than I ever have in my life. She grabbed my right hand. I saw her raise the knife and aim straight at my finger. I begged for her mercy because I could see my death in her wide, horrifying eyes.
Beg for mercy. You should have thought about that when she made the OnlyFans. Should have thought about that before you embarrassed her for a crush that you never like. That wasn't your man. That wasn't even like I could kind of get it if that was like your man and she kissed him. That's crazy. That's crazy. But bruh, I don't even think he knew you existed. He wasn't even paying attention. He was too busy playing football. The frick?
Eyes.
Please, Jules, stop!
She didn't. I felt the blade slice my knuckles. A crackling sound of my bones breaking was followed by excruciating pain that turned me numb on the spot. In my blurry vision, I saw her holding my index finger and showing it to me like a trophy. Her hysteric laughter echoed in my room. I could feel myself fainting when my dad busted in. He saw the...
You a little too late, Pops. My finger got cut off. And I got that stabbed in my shoe. You a little late, man. What happened to you when I was screaming the first time?
blood, saw Juliet with a knife, and just lost it. He tackled her off me, screaming like an animal. She kicked and thrashed, trying to reach the knife again, but he pinned her down and yelled for my mom to call 911. Until the cops arrived, my dad held her on the ground the whole time. Juliet accepted defeat after a few minutes of struggle. She just went limp. Cops took her away in cuffs. I was rushed to the ER, finger gone, shoulder slashed, mentally destroyed. That one night changed everything. I confessed to the cops, telling them the whole truth. There's no point in lying. They didn't charge me since I was technically the victim of the attack, but I got expelled. And yeah, my parents look at me differently now. It's been 5 months. I still wake up at night hearing that creak, feeling the knife on my skin, seeing her face.
Why is she in the bed crying? She literally brought it on herself. She ain't have to make the OnlyFans. She got hurt because her friend was kissing the crush. The same friend that didn't even know. She didn't tell her friend that she had a crush on the football player. So why is she upset? Our friend ain't know. And she was drunk, so I'm gonna give her a little pass. Free her. Free her. They probably gonna give her some long time. But free her though, free her. She should be, like, her getting expelled, that's nothing. Her parents looking at her different, that's good. Me personally, she should have got kicked out the house for that. Because all this nonsense could have been avoided. True OnlyFans horror story animated. Hope you have a beautiful, blessed day. Okay. I'm gonna catch y'all tomorrow probably. And yeah, that'll be easy.